can have dreams, goals, and objectives, but all of it means nothing if you do not have the right habits. Habits begin in the mind. If you want to achieve anything in life, you must get up and go for it. Your habits can bring you the finer things in life, but they can take it all away if you do not act correctly. Habits determine our success. We can achieve great feats by developing good habits. If we want to live healthier lives, we must consider adopting healthier eating habits and new exercise regimens. Recognition in the workplace may require us to look into our working habits and make the adjustments to get us noticed by our superiors. For any development in our personal and professional lives, it is important to look at the habits we have formed over time and change them. People with a significant amount of willpower have the motivation and discipline to develop positive, successful habits. They have a much better chance of succeeding personally or professionally. It is that discipline that does not allow them to discard a good habit in favor of the comfort of familiarity. For many people, it is seemingly difficult to shake off old habits. It is the reason some people never achieve much in their lives, despite having goals and dreams. Consistency guarantees stability and certainty. Once you start a new habit, consistency allows you to incorporate it into your routine. Doing certain actions over and over builds confidence and encourages you to do it all over again. This is one sure way of guaranteeing success. If you make a habit of being positive, adverse seasons will not easily faze you. You will not crumble when setbacks come. You can be positive by feeding positivity into your mind. Surround yourself with positive influences and positive voices. Be deliberate about changing your habits, and you will find yourself that step closer to achieving your goals. The changes you make to your habits and your consistency with new habits will determine your destiny. When developing good habits, it is important to start with small actions that you can do consistently without feeling too much of a change in your routine. Instead of starting with a morning run, commit to a walk. Overcommitting will only discourage you if what you want to do cannot match what you actually achieve. The rewards of successful small habits will motivate you to take on bigger changes to your routine. Success in forming new habits means being able to stick with a habit and never making excuses. The moment you avoid doing a certain action, it seems unimportant, and you can easily make excuses not to do it again the following day. Be consistent by committing to do the chosen activities as often as you can, preferably daily. That way, you form a routine. Consistency is the best way to ensure that you develop good habits. Choose the activities that bring you that much closer to achievement of your goals and do them often. Doing the same thing over again means other centers of our mind that are related to creativity will just go on unused. Try to be as inventive as you can in your workplace. Do not specialize overly much. Try to diversify. Be curious, learn new things and new perspectives. You will see that your work becomes fun and you get a sort of higher ground from which to look at your role at work. By constantly learning, you get to break some routine and you will constantly challenge your mind. This will help you stay engaged and motivated. Acquiring the habit of being curious and being receptive to new ideas will go a long way. We often have that one thing that gets us rolling downhill and giving in to our bad habits. We will be on the right path, and then we find ourselves back at that place we wanted to quit. It might be quitting junk food or alcohol. You just need to recognize those things that get you back on that wagon. Some of the most common triggers are emotional strain, boredom, or just bad company. Try to avoid those circumstances that might force you back onto your bad habit. Try to track all the past events where you ended up doing what you wanted to stop. Find a link between those incidents. Recognizing your triggers is the first step to successfully breaking a bad habit. Bad habits usually serve a purpose in life. Sometimes they are carried out to calm you down or entertain. So, it is hard to just get rid of them and leave that space open. At times, you need to fill in that void so that it won't haunt and stare back at you, always to remind you of the habit that you have. Thus, to successfully get rid of a bad habit, you need to replace it with a wholesome activity that can distract you from relapsing. With time, the new wholesome routine will be imprinted in your mind as a new habit, and you would have successfully conquered a deplorable habit. We cannot talk about turning our lives around without paying attention to our habits. They are our settled routine of behavior, which has a way of just showing up regardless of what we are doing. Like any addiction, habits are learned. Thus, they start with just a simple idea that propels us to try something new, and, if we like it, we make more time for it until it becomes a part of us. Once it has reached that stage, we just can't help ourselves but do it at all costs. Habits play a huge role in how our day turns out. Therefore, changing our habits changes what we normally get out of our time, which also alters a certain part of our lives. What is the point of changing habits if you will not be changing the direction of your life for the better? This is where changing habits has less to do with whether our current habits are good or bad, and more to do with where we are headed. To redirect our lives, we would need to think about whether our habits are helping us become who we want to be. Bad habits often get in the way of the important things we need to do. These include failure to limit our social media usage, staying in bed even when your alarm has gone off, and not sticking to your timetable, which can get you struggling to meet your deadlines, to mention but a few. When we adopt new habits, we are more likely to be more productive. The secret to this would be to take time to identify habits that are holding you back. You might tend to help others too much. You forget about your own tasks and dreams, or every time you log into your computer, you find yourself on Facebook. Changing habits would give you more time to focus on what you need to do. Sometimes we harbor bad habits because we don't have something within that is pushing us to value our time. If we challenge ourselves to improve our health and be fit, have healthy and rewarding relationships, dream big and achieve our goals, as well as make time to learn something new now and then, we will have no room for bad habits. The pattern of your thoughts and emotions determines your happiness. How much money you make and save depends on your habits. Your health and the longevity of your life depends on your eating and exercising habits. Even the success of your social relationships depends on the habits you adopt when you interact with others. Ultimately, everything you become is because of your habits. It is therefore important to pay attention to your habits. You have a choice to make in order to shape the course of your life. You either develop new habits or stick to the ones that do not increase your productivity. Observe your routines and determine whether they bring any meaningful change to your life. Reevaluate the habits you have formed and make adjustments and replacements of habits that no longer serve you well. Most people find they are more productive in the mornings. This is because there are fewer distractions and disruptions to the day then. Some successful people have a morning routine that helps them focus more on the tasks at hand. Start the day with affirmations, meditation, or exercise. It ensures that the day starts on a high. Wake up earlier than usual and do what best helps you focus on what you need to achieve. The more consistent you are with these activities, the more they develop into good habits. Nothing brings change more than gaining knowledge about what you need to do. The internet today offers many ways to develop good learning habits. You can commit to reading articles online about the title of your choice or listen to podcasts on it. Making a habit of this helps you sharpen certain skills and opens your mind up to creativity. The most effective way to bring positive change and habits to your life is to plan your day. Have a list of priorities for the day. Allocate time to relax and catch up on your social media. When you make a habit of planning your day, you realize what matters and give your attention and energy to that. Positive change is possible. There are many habits that you can adopt to suit the changes you want to make to your life. Be brave enough to embrace them. Breaking some habits is not an easy task. Most times we are left feeling worthless and weak when we try to break a habit but can't seem to succeed at it. You should know that seeking help is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it is quite noble to know when we are at our limits and we need a shoulder. Seek out a friend to help you break a habit. You can even try out different support groups. Never let a habit bring you down just because you are too proud or too shy to seek help. Know your limits and do not try to shoulder all burdens alone. Seeking help will also assist you in building trust in other people. Success requires our to work strategically, manage well our time, health, relationships, and also keep learning and growing among other things. It requires us to push ourselves. That cannot happen when we are still lazy and all we think about is amusement. This does not mean one should lead a boring life. As you plan your day, you should know when to play and when to work.